Talk about lawless Britain, because we've all been keeping our eyes on
shoplifting epidemic
on
continues
Peckham.
apace.
Down in Peckham, of course, at the weekend, and yesterday we carried an interview with the store owner of that place down in Peckham, which is still shut.
Well, I feel sorry for him.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
He's got no plans to reopen his shop.
He can't.
And I mean, it's one of the few places in that part of the world, in Peckham, where people can go. And as he said, most of his clientele, most of his customers are actually from the black community, because a lot of what they do.
These are black hair products.
Is black hair products, yeah. And so at the end of the day, they've done themselves out of a shop where they could go and get things, the local community. Those who are outside demonstrating that they have to shut it down, well, that's fine. But who's going to sell the stuff that you want to buy then?
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy trying to make a living. He's obviously a hard-working guy. Something went badly wrong with this incident with this woman, but we've seen the footage. She's swinging haymakers.
I don't think there's any doubt about what happened.
Swinging haymakers at him, throwing baskets at him.
There's no doubt about what happened.
She's been arrested on suspicion of assault. He's been interviewed under caution. We have to leave it to the police. You know, you could just tell that guy is a hard-working guy trying to make a living, and now he's in the middle of what I would say is a completely concocted race.
A useless
It's a race situation.
But this is going on all over the place. We've got a bit of video for you from Moss Park, which is up in Manchester. Some kind of a robbery going on as we were watching that. 3 teenage girls basically threatened by some kind of masked armed robber. And this is going on, I'm afraid, on a regular basis up and down the country.
A hammer.
It looks like he's got some kind of hammer. And he's just basically, and people are just walking in, look at that, he jumps over the counter, takes what he wants, and then just disappears.
Yeah.
And this is happening all the time in every single part of this country.
Do you know those guys who just did that? I mean, what do they get away with? Like a sliced loaf or something? It's like, blimey, pathetic. Sort your lives out. So this morning...
A lot of them are pinching alcohol from shops as well, though. You know, they're just taking stuff to drink.
This morning, sort of off on a tangent, but kind of similar, people who really ought to improve their lot in life. So I'm getting off the tube here at London Bridge, coming through the double barrier, and there's this guy waiting, and then when it opens, you know, he barges, you know, I wouldn't mind if he just ran through, but he barges me right in the shoulder, and I turned around and said, "Oi!" And then I called him a name. I said, you know, you're 50 years old. You're bunking the fares. How's your life working out for you? And he looked at me all confused. But really, if you're 50 years old and you're bunking fares on public transport, you should recalibrate your value system. You really should.
Also, the point about all of that as well is that in the end, if you speak to them, sometimes it stops it. Because that's what not enough people do. And I know that, you know, you don't want to put yourselves in any danger, you don't want to really, you know, have a problem with anybody randomly. But sometimes speaking to them, and this particularly works with teenagers as well, if you actually speak to them and humiliate them slightly and make them feel a bit ashamed, like you just did, sometimes he might think twice about doing it again. Because he probably found it so horrific that somebody actually spoke to him. Because they assume that nobody will say anything.
So